you just see my skeleton come out as a clear white, which means it's very dense. And then they give me the readout at the end. I had the highest readout of all the rugby players and stuff, which was like, I think it was just over ×5 when I did it first.
Right.
At this stage of my career, I've got the #1 spot where I'm, going to be mandatory for like the WBO or possibly the WBC. So I don't want to lose that position, especially at this stage. And so it's a must-win fight. Well, now he's changed his tune and realised that he's signed with Sky, but who's he going to fight? Oh, Joe Joyce. So he's just come full circle.
Big Joe Joyce, the juggernaut. How you getting on? How you doing?
Yeah, doing really well. Good. Amazing this fight's now being announced and going to be heading out to Vegas by the end of the week. So yeah, in a good place. Got back in the gym at Elsfield to see the folks down there again. And yeah, had a bit of break, holiday, and now
I saw that. You had a bit of fun in the sun, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been amazing. Amazing weather, got a suntan and stuff. So, but now it's good to get the ball rolling again and get in some big fights till the end of the year.
I must say, I've been watching your holiday stories on Instagram. You absolutely terrify me. Every time you're jumping off cliffs and doing backflips into the water, I was like, well, fight's off. Fight's off. So how do you keep fit on these holidays when you're jumping off cliffs?
Well, I do a lot of swimming. I used to be a swimming teacher, so and also been in swimming.
Did you really? You used to be a swimming teacher?
Yeah. Swimming and diving instructor. And also in swimming club as well, so where they get you to do freaking thousands of lengths. So yeah, I like in my downtime to swim and dive and do some extreme stuff that you probably not look good to watch, but it's fun. It gets adrenaline going for me, and I'm quite safe. I know my limits and I don't push them.
I love how we've just found out that you used to be a swimming instructor as well, just as well as
just
everything else.
throw that in there.
Just throw it in there. Yeah. Let's reflect on Christian Hammer, July 2nd. How do you look back on that performance? You weren't supposed to be fighting him, but you ended up fighting him. What did you make of it all? Yeah,
it was a good fight actually. He was very game and came forward, orthodox, swinging bombs, hammers over the top. It hit me flush a couple of times in the first couple of rounds, and it was an exciting fight, an enjoyable fight as well, and where I got the chance to do some of the stuff that I've been working on in the gym with Salas. So it was good to, work. Yeah, obviously, just because I could feel in the fight that there's more levels that I could have gone. Mm-hmm. So it's good to get out there and knock off the ring rust, and it'll be better when I'm going into the next fight, because then it won't be like, oh, I could have done a few more bits and that. But I did what was required to get the victory.
You don't mind being hit, do you?
No, it's all right. I kind of gauge their power and I don't know.
So that's how you do it? You literally test their power straight away and just go on, have a little go on this?
I mean, it happens, but then I'm like, it's not so bad, so yeah.
Confirm to me this 5 times bone density thing, because I've heard all sorts of story, but tell me.
Yeah, so there's a DEXA scan in the Middlesex University where they, the Harlequins, Garand I think it is, and they have a DEXA scan which kind of scans the body, and you just see my skeleton come out as a clear white, which means it's very dense. And then they give me the readout at the end. I had the highest readout of all the rugby players and stuff, which was I think it was just over ×5 when I did it first. Right.
So people probably, an opponent would likely need a baseball bat or something like that to actually hurt you.
Yeah, maybe. It could be an idea.
It was a really good shot from Hammer over the guard and right onto the chin.
Lovely shot.
It shows just how well he can take them, Joyce, because that was a peach.
Yeah, lovely shot, and I suppose it landed that clean that some other heavyweights it may have been enough to finish a fight, but he can really take a shot.
These shots that you took against Christian Hammer, I mean, these are flush, right? Can you afford to fight Joe Parker in the same way that you fought Christian Hammer?
No, because I won't take as many risks, and also I think I've raised my game up depending on my opponent as well. So, and I know Parker's a lot more skillful and will be more cute inside, and he's I think at a better level than Hammer. So I wouldn't like to risk it. And but yeah, because I haven't fought for so long, it was good that I had that fight. So then I can improve and go back to the drawing board and see what I need to work on. And being out the ring so long, you kind of afterwards I was reflecting back that I could have done more stuff, and so it'll stand me in good stead when I fight Parker now in September.
Well, this is happening September 24th, BT Sport Box Office, AO Arena, Manchester. It's you and Joseph Parker. At last, it's finally happening. Tell me this. You've often said that boxing is like a game of snakes and ladders. There's snakes out there all over the place, and there's ladders. You go up, you go down.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, with this fight,
Yeah.
what happens if it's a snake? What happens if it's a ladder for Joe Joyce?
Well, I guess like if Joseph Parker is a snake or a ladder, it's quite a small snake and quite a small ladder.
Okay.
But I mean, at this stage of my career, I've got the #1 spot where I'm, going to be mandatory for like the WBO or possibly the WBC. So I don't want to lose that position, especially at this stage. And so it's a must-win fight, but it's it's a tough and challenging fight to kind of boost me up to the next level, to that elite level, where no one will question anything, and it will then lead me nice along to like the 3 top names of the sport.
I remember when you were about to fight Daniel Dubois, you had a warm-up fight before that with Michael Wallish, and we spoke before that. We did a little interview, and I just remember you saying to me, "I just don't want to mess anything up."
Yeah.
Is there a bit of a feeling of that with this, because you're in such a great position, as you've mentioned there? You kind of mess up here and you lose it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm aware of that, but that's not going to happen because I believe in my ability, and I think I'll beat Joseph Parker. But it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a tough fight and a grueling fight. He's very skillful, and he's got a lot of good attributes that will make for an entertaining fight.
Is there a bit of needle now? Because before, when you guys were brought together, I remember doing the face-off. It was all pretty fun. But since then, you've been saying things about you making quacking noises in interviews and all sorts of stuff. He's gone a different route and then come back. Is there a bit of annoyance?
Yeah, it's a bit. It's kind of dragged out. Like I was supposed to. The original camp was my end goal, or my target was Joseph Parker for the July fight, and for him to mess up. Him and his team to mess up those plans and then go and sign with Sky and piss about, and obviously my team has been put through it to kind of get this fight made, and now he's changed his tune and realised that he signed with Sky, but who's he going to fight? Oh, Joe Joyce. So he's just come full circle.
Do you think he'll be looking to test out that chin, or do you think he's going to be sort of boxing and moving to avoid getting juggernauted for 12 rounds? How do you think he's going to approach it?
I think he probably will test the chin. He'll have to try everything. Go on the back foot, trying on the inside, but he's got them skills, so I'm sure he can change it up and whatever. But it's a tough fight, one of my toughest fights to date. And
is it the toughest?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I mean Dubois was up there as well, but where I don't know, Joseph Parker's been tested. He's been at that top level. He's been the world champion, so he has that experience as well behind him, and he can fight on the inside. He's got good defence, footwork and stuff. So he's going to pose some challenges.
You never sparred, have you?
Nah, I haven't. It's because I've been in Vegas and been
about the same time,
been in the camp, but I think he didn't want to spar me because he knew it'd be a fight down the line, and here we are.
Here we are. Look, before I go back to Joe Joyce, I want to ask you a couple of things away from that. Your old foe, old adversary, Daniel Dubois, has been linked to fight. Well, he's been calling out Chisora and Wyatt, and he wants to fight them. How would you see him getting on in those fights? Yeah,
I think they're good fights for him. I think they all have a kind of similar style, stature, and power. I think out of the three, probably Dubois has the most power. But all of them, I don't think they're good fights. They're good fights. I'd like to see them.
If he wins them, it makes your win look even better. It's one of those as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sends it up. Teddy Atlas has referred to you as a young George Foreman. Thoughts?
I would say an old George Foreman because when he came back, then he had a bit more skills and different. He was a lot more skillful when he came back. He wasn't throwing like dodgy punches anymore. So like he'd learnt the sweet science by then and came back and recaptured the heavyweight division. So yeah, I'd say old George Foreman.
It's good praise though, isn't it?
Not too far away either.
Tyson Fury is very much part of Joe Parker's camp. He's sort of given up his home, his camp, his trainers and everything to just let Joe Parker be his best. How do you feel about that? I know you're matey with Tyson, but they seem like brothers. So Joe Parker's got access to all this sort of wealth of knowledge and everything. What do you think? And he sparred you as well, Tyson, so he might have a bit of intel. Yeah,
I'm sure he's got a lot to say and a lot to help him with, because I guess it's it's a big fight. Like I've got respect for Tyson Fury and for Joseph Parker. Like them forming the bond, I guess, because it's kind of like he scratched his back and now he's scratching his back. But like he helped him get ready for Dillian Whyte, and so he's going to return the favour with fighting me. So that's what I can say about that.
You still got your eyes on Tyson Fury one day?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's a man to beat right now.
Before I get your final prediction ahead of the Parker fight, I've been doing a real deep dive into Joe Joyce, doing all my research on Joe Joyce, and something popped up which I wasn't aware of, and you need to correct me if I'm wrong. Did you used to be a cheerleader?
Yeah, I did.
Talk to me.
So I went to university, I did a fine art degree at Middlesex, and during that time I then did a transfer, like a exchange. There's like an exchange program, so I went to Sacramento State, or Sac State, and they have the Sac State Hornets, and I was a part of them because originally I was doing athletics in uni, so I was like trying to get on the athletic team or the football team, American football. You had to be there for 2 semesters for the whole year, so you'd train 1 semester and then compete in the other semester. But I was only there for 1 semester, so they was like, sorry mate, you can't. We don't need you. So then I was chatting to one of the girls at because we were there early, because for the exchange program you get there early with the the sports people. They're normally there early. So I got talking to this this cheerleader, Jessica, and then she was like, yeah, come down to training, and yeah, the first move they taught us was called the chair, which was
so you're just holding up the How many at a time? Probably like 3, 4, 5. I'd have thought.
Like we did like a co-ed, so I had like a cheerleader, Ashley, who was like my flyer. So there's just like a co-ed, and then throw her to she would be standing on my hands, then I'd press her up.
Amazing.
And so the hardest move I got to was like, I think it's called a QP, where you grab both their feet and then press them up with one hand. And then they're like on the top like this. Amazing.
Joe Joyce used to be a swimming instructor. He's got a fine art degree, and he used to be a cheerleader as well as everything else. What?
Yeah, that's where I learnt the backflip.
Yeah. No, it would have been.
The back tuck.
Finally, September 24th, BT Sport box office, AO Arena, Manchester. How do you see this fight playing out? The biggest fight of your career, Joseph Parker. Tell us.
I think it's going to be a great fight to watch. To see our styles mesh, and there's going to be plenty of shots landed and exchanged. And there's going to be, I don't know, I think there's going to be some drama and excitement, but I'm going to get the job done.
Juggernauted. Juggernauted. You've knocked out 13 of 14 so far. Do you think he can be your 14th knockout victim?
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah. All right, we look forward to it, Joe. Brilliant speaking to you, as always. And don't miss it, September 24th.
Joe Joyce, Joe Parker. Why are these 2 giants with us here?
Because these 2 giants are going to fight each other and see who's the best giant.
Listen, I'm very excited to be signing with Boxer and Sky.
Joe Parker's not the ranked #1. He's not the mandatory. Joe Joyce is. This is the Joe Joyce business. You want to get that spot, you've got to beat Joe Joyce.
Taking the lead, we don't follow. We need it now, not tomorrow. Don't care what they say, not changing the pace.
Why don't we just make the fight happen? Just because he's on BBC Sports and I'm on Sky doesn't mean we can't make it happen.
It's hard to be one of the greats, whatever it takes. Put that on the plate. Life is a gamble, we raising the stakes. Moving the bar up so high. Been on our grind for life. Bringing the light, you just so bright. We shining.
Edging closer to the inner circle. Just got Joe Parker to beat.
Changing the world with this rhyme and this price.
A lot of people don't want to fight Joe Joyce because he's got an engine on him and he can take a punch and he can do a lot of damage.
Chase to the sundown. We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. Chase.